Sorry, I don't mean to, was I going on a tangent? I'm sorry. I'm feeling particularly stressed. So I'm going to clear my energy. It's a beautiful day. Okay, so yowzers. Hey, let's take a look here at what the crows bring to our awareness. This is the Three of Swords. This is a time of, feeling perhaps severed, or feeling perhaps a bit of a sting. Reality may be setting in a bit, where you're becoming almost painfully aware that things are changing. There's a separation taking place. There is perhaps an opportunity here for you to release yourself from a situation that may be not such a positive one. I look at this card and I see two stories here. There's the story of the crow that's being left, who's holding on to this pain of the heart. There's also the story of the crow who realizes that this is nothing more than damaged love, or a painful place, and is doing his or her job to remove him or herself from this position. And knowing that, yes, in that moment, in this distance between these two, yes, there is a lot of pain. It's only when you completely free yourself does that pain sort of mellow out, and as time goes on, you are released. So, with this everything going on, life still moves on. The virus doesn't change the fact that relationships that were doomed before the virus are still in this position of being not so great, that are, that are breaking apart. And so, or a job that you perhaps, have to realize that it wasn't a good fit before everything started, is still probably not a good fit. So this is a time for you to think about, what areas in your life right now are you feeling a sense of pain? Are you the one who is inflicting that pain onto someone else? Are you the one who's the victim of this pain? And what are you doing to alleviate that? What are you doing to break free, perhaps? Can you see that there's a situation that is toxic, perhaps, in your life? A friend, it could be a friendship. It could be something where you have to say to yourself, I can't do this anymore. So again, you may be on the receiving end of this, and however, whenever something happens where there's a split, where there's a break, no matter how gentle you try to make it, there are always going to be hurt feelings. People are always going to feel that pain that comes from separation. And it can be anything. It doesn't have to necessarily be a romantic relationship. It could be, again, losing your job, thinking that you were fine, thinking that things were just fine, and then finding out that things weren't fine, that your boss wasn't pleased with what you were doing. And it's with this three of swords, it really comes down to how you perceive the situation to be, right? So you're going to feel pain if your thought was everything was going great, I'm on a steady, road here, I'm on the steady path, things are moving ahead, and you're blindsided by somebody else's departure, or asking you to depart, in the case of perhaps a job. So this is a time for you to evaluate areas in your life where you can find healing. The first sword, again, here is that acknowledgement of what's going on. The first sword is that, like, oh wow, I'm opening my eyes up, I'm feeling that pain, I'm feeling that sting that comes from when this sword is inserted. The second sword here is, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to move forward? What's your thought process here as things are going on? What's your self-talk right now? Is it one that, like, oh my God, I can never move on, this is the most horrible thing in the world? Or is this like, wow, I'm experiencing pain, and now it's time to address it. You know, is it one where you look at the situation clear-headed, or is it one where you become almost numb because the pain is so severe? So this is how you approach your situation. The third sword comes with healing. This is the message here with the third sword, is once you acknowledge it, once you feel that pain, and you take action with this pain as to how you're going to alleviate it, then you can allow the healing process to begin. So let's see what the wise dog brings. That is where you move on. This is where you allow that distance between the two events. Because only in that time are you going to feel the scar tissue begin to form. It almost creates like a dullness around that area. But you also gain a great deal of wisdom in that scar tissue. That scar tissue holds lessons, and it serves as a reminder. So for the next time, if you encounter the same experience, or perhaps you have a pattern of liking the same kind of person, your scar tissue will, you may feel that sting in that scar tissue. The nerves, you know, may give you that little tingle, so you know that you're entering into a similar situation. Okay, so let's see what these wise dogs bring to us. And this deck does shuffle like butter, that is for sure. I love how this deck shuffles, especially now with my hands being so dry. Okay. Wow. You know what? What the? Okay. Well, if there's... This is such a cheery reading for a Friday. Holy frick. Oh my God. All right, guys. This is like when the crows and the dogs come together, and I swear it's like they just like to make my life a little difficult here. So here we have the Ten of Swords. So again, we've got this is a very heavy reading, and I mean, what I get from this is it may be really easy for you to play the victim here. And although the Ten of Swords can mean, being blindsided, being betrayed, being being the victim, right? The question you're going to need to ask yourself in this event, in this separation, is, are you capable of releasing this pain? Are you capable of acknowledging the hurt and recognizing the hurt and taking action to move forward, or are you going to stay down? Because if you can move forward, you will find your place in the sun. If you can let go and release and cut this cord that sits here with this Three of Swords, you will be able to rise up, and you will find a connection that will help you find healing. I mean, this is all about healing, and the key I'm getting here with this is right now, how you react is going to play a very big role in what happens next. So if you are strong, if your heart is strong, you see this red blood in here, it's pumping. This isn't a dead heart. No, this is a heart that beats very heavily through pain, but still, nonetheless, it is still beating. And, this dog, you see here, there's no blood around this puppy here. This Michaela is the puppy's name here. Yes, there is sorrow, but right now I have to ask, I mean, are you letting this sense of being hurt, this betrayal, be what is defining you. You know, are you the person who's the victim, and that's the role that you're playing, as if you were going for an Oscar? Are you leaning into that role, you know, of the martyr right now? Are you the one that's saying, "Oh, look at me, I'm giving up all this stuff, or I've been hurt so bad, have pity on me," but you're not taking the action to move ahead. You're not taking the steps to remove these swords so that you can rise up. So that's, I know this may sound pretty harsh, and I don't mean to be harsh, oh my God. But in healing, it may be time to recognize where you're allowing the role of the victim to keep you in a place that isn't helping you right now. It may be making you feel comfortable because you're getting all that attention. You may be having friends and family doting over you because, they want to make you feel good. So you may need to ask yourself, am I ready to rise up? Am I ready to move on? Or am I just going to lie in bed here and, enjoy the pity party because it's getting attention? I almost it's like Cher from Moonstruck when she snaps, she slaps, can't remember the character's name now, and she's like, snap out of it, right? That's what I kind of feel like these cards are saying. So let's see what the cats bring to us. I mean, holy guacamole. It's like, there is healing. I mean, that's the thing, that there is healing to be had. There is an opportunity to move on. You don't have to have these cords attached to you. You can cut them. But if you're hanging on to this pain, it's not going to serve you. It's not going to help you. There is, again, with this Ten of Swords, there is this heaviness. You can see, like, part of the card here is where poor Michaela's sitting. You see, well, she has the lotus flowers as well, indicating that regardless of how dark and heavy and how weighted life feels right now, there's still hope. There's still that connection to the divine that you have. But you've got to break through these clouds. You've got to release this heaviness. You've got to release these swords. And when you rise up, you see the little white butterflies here. It brings you to a place of feeling whole again and feeling loved. And it's not feeling loved because of pity, right? It's a different, it's not that. It's where you're contributing as well. Your role is equal. You're not the recipient of somebody else's, like pity, basically. So let's see what these cats bring. And this is the advice from the other side that's going to help us get through this situation. I'm going to look and see where I'm doing this. And I bet I know I'm like, I can tell you we're all guilty of this every now and then, of being the victim, of playing the victim, and, But if you hang on to that role too long, then it's really hard to break out of it. It's really hard to release these swords the longer you stay in that position, because they become heavier and they dig in deeper. Okay, cats. Oh, we have the star. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, so the star is here to help us out. The star, you can see even the posture of this cat and the star. It's being hugged, it's being loved. It's feeling grounded. Those roots are coming down from the tree. It's feeling protected. And so this comes from within. This does not come necessarily from others, right? This is the love that you give yourself. This is that compassion that you put inward, and it gives you that strength. It gives you that ability to stay optimistic. This does not mean, when I say optimistic, it does not mean that you're going to let go of all this hurt. It's not like you're going to say, oh, well, you know what, that's fine. You know, that person was a real big jerk and, you know, they hurt my feelings or they hurt my life in some capacity. I'm just going to let it go. Or they betrayed me, you know, my partner cheated on me, but it's okay. No, no, no. This star here allows you to see the situation clearly. It allows you to see exactly what's going on, but it gives you also the strength for you to know that you can move beyond this, that you have the power within you to move away from this and into something greater, something better, that you're feeling your roots grow, you're feeling yourself become more confident in who you are and what you can handle. You have that compassion that you wrap yourself in, and you have this self-love that, you know, is really so crucial right now. Because if you can't love yourself, right, it's going to be really hard for others to love you. And so if you don't love yourself, it also opens the door for others to treat you poorly, right? We get what we tolerate here. And so you need to really just embrace the star energy. Feel your roots. Feel that love that you have within. Know that you are being protected. This star coming over this tree is watching over you. There are new beginnings to be had here. Tune into your intuition. See, the roots are going down towards the water. They're like almost like instinctually like moving down towards the water, connecting to your intuition, because that's where you're going to find that grounding energy. In this the blackness here behind the tree, that's infinite possibilities. That's where the universe is open to you. You can go outward, and there's nothing really to block your energy if you decide it's time to move on. So yeah, guys, yikes. Maybe it's a good weekend to evaluate where we're staying in situations that may not be beneficial. Maybe it's a good time to analyze toxic relationships. You know, is somebody, you know, hurting you, and are they doing it in such a way that the knife cuts in so sharp that you don't really realize it yet? You know, have you ever had like a cut from an X-Acto knife, that like a really sharp X-Acto knife? You don't really realize, like when you cut your hand, until later on down the day, like through the day, you're like, oh man, that really does hurt, right? But when it's happening, you may not feel it. So look around right now at your relationships. Use your intuition. Use that self-love to be your guide. You know, are you being treated the way that somebody who should be valued is treated? Are you perhaps the one who needs to let go and release yourself? Yes, regardless of what happens, there is going to be a sense of pain. But there is also an opportunity for healing. There's also an opportunity for you to grow stronger. There's also an opportunity for you to rise up and move into a better place. And know that once you make this decision, yes, it's going to create an ending. It's going to create a painful ending, but it's one that you move forward from. And the star energy is washing over the spread here. It's coming over. It's like sitting over these two cards. And it's saying, have faith in yourself. Have faith in the universe. You know? Let yourself turn a lot of compassion and love inward so that you can build these roots. Trust your intuition right now. There are new beginnings coming. But it starts with you. It starts with you seeing the signs, seeing and recognizing what's going on, and being truthful with yourself, being honest with your situation. So I hope this makes sense. But at the same time, I hope it doesn't apply to anybody. I hope that everybody is doing well and not experiencing pain. So, but I'm going to look around to my own life and see perhaps where it is that I'm lingering in the past, maybe, where I'm letting these feelings keep me down. When I'm letting, or if I'm letting a hurt that I should have moved on from a long time ago define what I believe about myself, so that I can open that door up for the star. So maybe that may be a way for you to approach this as well. You know, where's that hurt holding you back? So much love, and I will see you on Monday. Peace.